The mirror stage is a key concept in Lacanian psychoanalysis. It refers to a stage in an infant's development when they first recognize themselves in a mirror, and it shapes the child's emerging sense of self and identity. To understand the mirror stage, imagine an infant around 6 to 18 months old encountering a mirror for the first time. When the baby sees their reflection, they suddenly realize that the image in the mirror corresponds to their own body. This is a pivotal moment. 1. The baby sees themselves as a whole, integrated being, the reflected image, but they still feel their own body as fragmented and uncoordinated. This contrast produces a kind of primordial lack that the child will always try to overcome. 2. The child's sense of self is shaped by this external image in the mirror. Their ego, or I, is formed from identifying with this ideal whole self, not just their direct felt experience. This mirrors how our ego is influenced by the images and ideals we are exposed to. 3. This also produces an imaginary sense of wholeness to which the child aspires. But there remains a gap between their actual self and this ideal whole self, a kind of eternal longing for an unachievable harmony and coherence. For Lacan, this gap persists into adulthood and is a source of desire. Some simple examples. Think of a baby giggling in delight at their reflection in a mirror, captivated by the image. They are discovering their self, but it is an external image wholly different from their own bodily sensations and experience of themselves from within. Imagine a child who feels awkward and uncoordinated on the playground but sees themselves in a mirror and thinks, "That is how I truly am, an altogether coherent, balanced self." This ideal self, based only on appearances, becomes the ego they aspire to embody and present to the world. Consider those moments where you feel conflicted or disjointed inside but spend hours focused on your outward appearance in the mirror, believing that if you just look a certain way, you will have achieved a sense of personal wholeness or identity you crave. This is the mirror stage refracted through adult life. For Lacan, the mirror stage demonstrates how the ego arises not from our internal felt experience but through identification with external images and ideals, something we spend our whole lives both longing for and trying to emulate. It is the root of desire, lack, and egoic illusion. But self-knowledge requires seeing beyond these imaginary identifications to accept the essential incoherence or lack at the heart of human existence.